blue blood matchup between Duke and Kentucky men's soccer style right here on ACC Network Extra. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dean Linke, flying solo with you tonight for men's soccer. Great to be back in the booth and great to be with each and every one of you. Let's get you set. Duke will be wearing white. Their home whites. They come in with a 2-6-1 record. They're 2-4 in conference play. Kentucky 6-1 on the season. Their only loss was their first game back on September 17th at Notre Dame. They have reeled off 6 straight victories, including one on September 21 at home against Duke, a 4-2 victory for Kentucky. It's the Duke Blue Devils, the Kentucky Wildcats, men's soccer non-conference matchup right here on ACC Network Extra. For John Kerr, who won a national championship as a player as well as college soccer's best player at Duke in 1986 under John Rennie, the first national championship in Duke's history. Duke led by John Kerr, Michael Brady, and Kyle Renfro. The starting lineup will be Elliot Hamill. Also in the starting lineup, Stephen O'Connell, Matthias Frick, Lewis McGarvey, Antino Lopez, Daniel Wright, Jack Doran, Thor Larson, Ian Murphy, Peter Stroud, and Amir Daly. That's your starting lineup for Duke as we are underway here at Koskinen Stadium. The starting lineup for Kentucky in goal is Ryan Troutman, Robert Screen, John Michael Bandy, Luis Grassel, Leon Jones, Daniel Evans, Marcel Meinzer, Ethor Bjorgusson, easy for me to say, Mason Visconti, Brock Lindell, Bailey Rouse. That's the starting lineup for Kentucky, wearing dark blue and dark black. Kentucky can score some goals. After that 4 against Duke, they had 3 against Louisville, 2 against Central Arkansas, an overtime win, 3 against Mercer, 2 against UAB, and they opened their spring part of this year's schedule because of COVID-19 with a 2-1 overtime thrill over Andy Fleming's Xavier team. Throw in for the Duke Blue Devils, who throw it long, looking for the big tall one from Iceland. Goes by Thor, wearing number 12. That's his first name. So Duke will take their time now with the throw-in. Stephen O'Connell. Frick, who missed the last game, a tie against UNC Charlotte with the red card, and the whistle called against Stephen O'Connell. So you look at Kentucky's starting lineup, and they've got a sophomore from Norway, Bjorgufsson, and then Duke has the outstanding freshman from Iceland, Thor Ufarsson. So that'll be a fun evening here at Koskinen. No fans allowed. Duke has done an outstanding job with their COVID protocol. They have taken it serious from day one and handled all the proper protocol to make sure everybody is safe. You do see a lot of cutouts in the stands here at Koskinen, where they also play lacrosse. Duke and Kentucky. Kentucky, as I told you earlier, defeated Duke 4-2 at home in the Wildcats' first victory of this season. That was last September. But the fall departures of Mabika and Khalil Ahmedkar, who scored the first 2 goals in the UK win, while current Wildcats Bailey Rouse and Daniel Evans put the match away in the second half. But Mabika and Ahmedkar have moved on to Major League Soccer, so one of the situations for these college teams that hope to make it all the way to Cary, North Carolina in May, when the women and the men have the College Cup at the same time down the road at Wake Med Soccer Park, is these 2 seasons. Some conferences just starting. Indiana, for instance, in the Big Ten, started today with a 3-0 win over Wisconsin. Just 4 minutes in. Again, Duke in all white, Kentucky in the darks. We're at Koskinen Stadium, Durham, North Carolina. Headed out of the back there by Leon Jones, a redshirt junior from Scotland. Johan Sedergren, by way of Sweden, played at Cincinnati. Jeff Cook, now the Penn State coach, convinced him to come out of the business world and join him, and then went to Dartmouth. And then when the Kentucky job opened up, Johan Sedergren, who was featured this week on the United Soccer Coaches podcast, always great to spend time with him. He does not lack confidence, which is exactly what you want. I was kind of joking about the fact that Kentucky has become a men's soccer school. Obviously, Coach Calipari having a rough season. Same thing for Coach K by their standards. So today we get blue bloods, but men's soccer style, as Duke will play this back. There's Frick, who's back in the starting lineup after missing a game with that red card, the senior from Austria. Do want to say hello to Daniele Proch, the Italian who used to play here, plays now for, or at least did, for North Carolina FC. The rumor is they're interested in perhaps bringing him back, but if he's tuning in even over in Italy, we wish him well. A whistle, and it'll stay with Duke. John Kerr telling me before this game that they've got to be careful on set pieces. Apparently they gave up 2 goals in that 4-2 loss back in September. Then he also said the transition game was going to be key. When Duke wins it, they want to attack with purpose, so we'll keep an eye on whether Duke can do that. They are attacking at the moment. Duke inside the 18, 1 extra touch, knocked out of bounds. Referee saying play on. As you saw Doran go down. Doran also missed the last game for Duke. An important result for Duke as they restart against UNC Charlotte. They tied 0-0 as that game went regulation and 2 overtimes without finding a goal. So a tie to push Duke's record to 2-6-1. Duke opened their season September 21 at Kentucky, that 4-2 loss. Then they came back and beat a good George Kiefer team from NC State 1-0. Fell to North Carolina, beat NC State again, this time in Raleigh. Lost to Clemson in 2 overtimes, kind of a heartbreaker. And then a tough loss to a very good Wake Forest team by just 1 goal. And then North Carolina and Pitt beat them. The point of that is the schedule has been just absolutely murderous for the Duke Blue Devils. So while the record says 2-6-1, you look at that schedule and you know that they can beat anybody at any time, including this very good Kentucky team that has reeled off 6 straight and has Akron coming up on February 25th at home. That should be a good one. Jared Embick, a great coach at Akron. Look forward to seeing the result of that one. Just great to have men's soccer and women's soccer starting up again as we push for the spring championships again at Wake Med Soccer Park. Troutman will boot it long. Keep in mind that Enrique Facuse, the talented goalkeeper, is with the Honduras national team program right now, so he also is not here. So you've got the big giant defender that has moved on. We talked about the goal scorer that has moved on, and then they also don't have their regular starting goalkeeper today, although to his credit, Ryan Troutman apparently is gone neck and neck, and some people have said that even when Facuse gets back that it could be Troutman's job to lose. Troutman from Louisville, a transfer from Bowling Green, so he goes back to his home state, not Louisville, but Kentucky. Kentucky's got a chance to take an early lead. They got it into the 18, deflected away there by Duke. And here's that transition, one back by Kentucky. Settling over the ball is John Michael Bandy, a redshirt sophomore from Georgia Parkview High School. Kentucky trying to put some touches together. And a whistle against Duke. It'll be a dangerous free kick opportunity for the Wildcats. Marcel Meinzer and the aforementioned Facuse were named to the Conference USA preseason team prior to the league's official spring start. Meinzer was a second-team All-Conference USA performer in 2019, which Facuse has made an All-Conference USA team in each of his first 3 seasons, which says a lot about where Ryan Troutman is, if in fact he can hang on to that goalkeeper spot when Facuse rejoins the team as expected. Of course, during this year of pandemic, nothing is expected, as you've got to roll with it. And the Kentucky player goes down. The Duke bench not too happy about that flop, talking to the fourth official. Coach Brady off the bench. Coach Brady and John Kerr have been together a long time. Both of them respected players of the year. Brady at American, John Kerr at Duke. Throw in here for Kentucky. Neither team has had a shot. Neither team has obviously been forced to make a save. Just a whole bunch of zeros 9 minutes in. Here's one from distance, but not on frame. And we'll see if they will call that a shot, as it was good 35 yards out. We've almost gone 10 full minutes. Kentucky's 3 captains for the spring season are Bailey Rouse, Leon Jones, and Marcel Meinzer. Duke's goalkeeper Elliot Hamill coming off 5 saves in his debut. The Duke Blue Devils have had 9 different starting lineups this season. So just to give you an idea, they're 2-6-1. They've played 9 games and they've not had the same lineup for any of their games, make it now 10 in a row for the Duke Blue Devils. Kentucky will push it out of the midfield. They'll drop it right side to Visconti, Mason Visconti, a junior out of Kansas City. The throw in they'll leave for Robert Screen, a junior from just down the road, Raleigh, North Carolina, went to Wakefield High School. So for him, this is a big opportunity coming home, and you see the top select coaches always making sure that something like that happens. No different for Kentucky and for Screen coming back to the triangle. Good little nifty move, far side. Kentucky down near the end line looking for a corner kick. Corner kick, Kentucky.
Corner kick for Kentucky, number 2, Robert Screen.
Robert Screen, the player we just talked about from down the road in Raleigh, North Carolina, Wakefield High School, will take the corner for the Wildcats. Kentucky's 4 goals scored against Duke back on September 21 are the most they've scored this season, but they've hit 3 a couple times. Screen pops that in. Kept alive by Kentucky. Now the white jerseys will try to clear it. Kentucky keeps possession. Johan Sedergren has been very clear about his goal to turn Kentucky into a program like Indiana, which is not that far from Lexington, Bloomington that is. We'll go out of bounds off Kentucky. Jack Dorn will leave it. Dorn, one of those players that feels like he's been here forever, now a grad student out of West Roxbury, Mass, Boston College High School. Long throw in. I'm headed to Boston College tomorrow night for Boston College Georgia Tech women's basketball on Sunday. Looking forward to that. Kentucky spinning around with it was Meinzer. And there's the big man up top, Jorgefsen. Wearing number 9. Aitor Bjorgefsen. I think I got it. He is indeed a handful. Kentucky continues to keep possession. Duke trying to win it back. Kentucky sends it in. It's right in front and picked up by Hamill. Meinzer, tough to get it away from him. Doran tried. Meinzer pushes it forward to Lindau. Lindau gives it right back to Duke. Played there by Stroud in the middle of the park. Peter Stroud, he's a good one, folks. Now still listed as a freshman from Chester, New Jersey. whistle, and now Duke will have a dangerous free kick of their own. So Duke taking their time, sending bodies forward. McGarvey's in there wearing number 4. Frick is in there wearing number 3. Of course, Farson wearing number 12. The big freshman from Iceland. Massive target. Here goes Duke. Duke with a chance to take a 1-0 lead. Cleared out of there by Kentucky. And it will be a throw-in near side from my press box position for the Duke Blue Devils. Stephen O'Connell throws it in, and it's won back by Kentucky. Ian Murphy, wearing number 13, drops it back to Frick. It's a 3-4-2-1 formation for the Duke Blue Devils, going with 3 in the back. You don't see that every day, but Duke's done a nice job over the last several years, changing their formation around the players that they have. John Kerr Jr., so much pride in the Duke Blue Devils, his alma mater. Again, Duke is nowhere near a 2-6-1 team. You heard all of those scores, and really short of that Kentucky game where they were beaten by 2, they've been tight in every single game against really good teams. Kentucky averaging almost 8 shots per game on the season. Duke averaging almost 11 shots per game after 9 games. 61 corner kicks for the Blue Devils, including 12 in that 0-0 game as they pop it inside the 18 again. It'll roll out of the 18. Trying to run it down there on the far side was O'Connell, but Kentucky will knock it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Duke. Duke with the white shirts and the blue stripes across it. They look sharp here at home. O'Connell has it taken away by that back line from Kentucky. Duke, nifty moves inside the 18, knocked out of bounds, and it will be a corner kick. Corner kick for the Duke Blue Devils, who have been dangerous. They had a free kick just outside the 18 where they're able to send numbers forward.
Corner kick for the Blue Devils.
Once again,
number 7,
you'll see
Daniel
Frick
Evans.
a lot of white jerseys in and around the 6 as it's a corner kick for the Duke Blue Devils.
Number 7, Daniel Wright.
Daniel Wright taking the corner kick with his right foot, flicked in, across, oh! And almost a sitter right there as it came all the way across. A white jersey was wide open. Waiting to tell you who that was that had that brilliant opportunity. It was number 4, Lewis McGarvey. So McGarvey, the freshman from Ireland, it ended up rolling to him, and there was not a dark blue jersey in front of him. What he needed to do was get his body over the ball. Instead, he tilted back and skied it. So remember that opportunity coming with less than 28 minutes remaining here in the first half, as Duke may want that one back. It'll be a throw in back to Kentucky. After an abbreviated fall 2020 slate in which Kentucky finished 5-1 and peaked at number 3 in the United Soccer Coaches rankings, the Wildcats opened their spring 2021 schedule with a 2-1 win over Andy Fleming's Xavier team in overtime. That was on February 9th. And now they find themselves here. They actually spent 2 nights ago in Winston-Salem working their way out of potential weather to get down here a little early, and then came up to Durham yesterday. That was part of what Johan Sedergren told me on the United Soccer Coaches podcast. Once again, they drop it down. Duke is back into the 18. Daniel Evans takes a shot, and it was blocked out of there. Kentucky going the other way. That's where the transition game is key. They'll say, I believe, just off of Duke, clean tackle. It'll be a throw-in for Kentucky, timed perfectly. Amir Daly, wearing number 26, the freshman out of New York, has been the player that has been slicing and dicing Kentucky over on that right side. It's hard to make out his numbers. This pretty good ball in there, and there's Daly right there. Heads it out of danger. Shot there from Kentucky. Kentucky claiming Duke touched it, and it'll be a corner kick. Corner kick Wildcats. Still zeros here at Koskinen Stadium.
Corner kick for Kentucky, number 2, Robert Screen.
So once again, the Raleigh native Robert Screen will take the corner. Kentucky sending players forward. Luis Grassow, Leon Jones, wearing number 4 and 5 respectively. Top of the 18 sits Daniel Evans. This one sent in, and it's trouble. The whistle there before the goal. They'll say pushing and shoving on Kentucky, so they'll pull that one back, and we're still level at zeros with exactly 25 minutes remaining here in the first half. This game flying along. Duke looking to work it up the left side to Stephen O'Connell, senior from Rye, New York. Duke wins it. They stay with it. Doran will slide it over. One extra pass just outside the 18, and then miss hit that time. Duke, for their part, has done well in the transition game, which was highlighted by John Kerr Jr. Amir Daly, who's been so good as a New York Red Bull Academy product, and looks like he is a next level player the way he's been cutting through that Kentucky defense, and he's over on the right side begging for the ball at the moment. They'll switch it back though to Frick. Taken away by Kentucky. Visconti was in the middle of that, and he'll find Meinzer. Meinzer, good ball forward. Nice run right down the middle. Lindau. Lindau is in. Lindau, push from behind. Lindau denied there by Hamill, the goalkeeper for the Duke Blue Devils. So now Duke under some pressure. Throw in. Duke tries to get it out of danger, and they'll play it all the way back to Ryan Troutman, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Bowling Green. Screen will use Troutman again. Ulfarsson, the freshman from Iceland, trying to put a little pressure on the goalkeeper, but no problem. Couple touches from Meinzer. You also saw Bailey Rouse, the senior captain from Littleton, Colorado, Chatfield Senior High School. Of course, Littleton, Colorado is where April Heinrichs is from, former U.S. national team player and coach. It's also where Kristen Hamilton is from, now a member down the road of the North Carolina Courage and NWSL. A lot of good players, men and women, have come out of the Colorado area for sure. In fact, the most recent U.S. national team game against Trinidad and Tobago, a ton of Colorado Rapids players represented for Coach Berhalter, who played collegiately not too far from here over at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Less than 22 minutes remaining. Still no score. Remember, these two teams had 6 goals, 4 for Kentucky, 2 for Duke back on September 21. They were supposed to play again on October 30th here, but that game was postponed, and now they run it back here as part of the spring edition. Screen. The outside of his foot, plays it to Visconti. Visconti back to Screen. A little pressure there from McGarvey. So far, neither team has made a substitution here in the first half. Reminding you that any subs that come on the first half, the player that goes out cannot re-enter. That will change in the second half. But both coaches talking about the fact that it's not like they're going to run out 20 players. Both of them mentioned 2 or 3 subs that we'll get to as they come on. Daly probably deserved a whistle there, didn't get one, going down on contact. Of course, the referee had a better look than me. They play on. Kentucky, dangerous pass right there. Duke intercepts. Duke now. Can they get some numbers? They look up, it's 1-on-5. The goalkeeper is off his line, so deciding to take a long shot is the tall one from Iceland. Ufarson. And now Kentucky will try to build it out of the back as we walk you up to 20 minutes remaining here in the first half. Sliding in a little recklessly there was Lindau. And it'll go back to Duke. Again, Duke in the white jerseys, Kentucky in the dark blue jerseys. Kentucky and Duke. You say those two names and you expect to be inside of Cameron, but Kentucky's now turned themselves into a quality program, and Duke is always dangerous, and Duke is getting ready to make the first sub of the game. Is hoping to check in is Nicholas Mockery, and he won't be the only one. Also looking to check in is Connor Kelly. Kelly wearing that number 22 jersey, the junior from Rumson, New Jersey, Christian Brothers Academy. So the first 2 subs of the game will come from Duke, 22 and 11. As coming out of the game will be Jack Doran, the grad student, coming off that hamstring injury, in addition to Daniel Wright, who took most of the corners. So Daniel Wright will also head to the bench.
Duke substitutions, number 22, Connor Kelly, and number 11, Nicholas Mockery.
So the PA announcer also telling limited fans here about Kelly and Mockery getting into the game with 18 and change remaining. Right away, a little bit of a collision there involving Mockery. It'll stay with Kentucky. Vigorfson for Kentucky notched his 6th career game winner in Kentucky's 2-1 overtime win over Xavier just a few days ago on February 9th. Kentucky returns 21 players from its fall 2020 roster and adds 2 newcomers. As we told you, a couple big-time players for Kentucky moving on to the next level, as they've got them sprinkled all over the place between Major League Soccer and USL. That's the kind of players Kentucky is now bringing. Duke has always brought next-level players under both John Rennie and John Kerr. John Kerr, of course, played for John Rennie on that '86 national championship team, which I need to remind you was Duke's first national championship of any kind. And it came in men's soccer in 1986, just 4 years after that 8 overtime game in '82 when Indiana won their first one. The Godfather Jerry Yeagley taking on John Rennie, an epic game. And a player down right now for Kentucky appears to be Marcel Meinzer, who I told you earlier was on the Conference USA preseason spring watch list as they reshuffled the deck. And the clock is stopped here with 16:55 for a Kentucky trainer to come on. Coming over to talk to The fourth official is Bailey Rouse, one of the senior captains. So now that the trainer came out, that means Meinzer's got to come over to the fourth officials table before he'll come back on. See, Farson not happy with that call. So at the moment, Kentucky will play a man down on this free kick opportunity, an opportunity to get the ball inside the 18. Looking to deliver it is Grasso, but he'll now leave it for Screen, which isn't a surprise knowing Screen takes the corner kicks. So Screen, let's see if he can bomb one into the 18. That's the goal, and it's into the 18. Pretty good spot. Headed out of there by Duke. And now the scramble's on. The counterattack is on for Duke. Numbers are decent right now, as chasing it down is Stroud. Stroud keeps it alive. Kentucky did well to get their blue jerseys behind the ball, and now the transition is off, and Duke will just build it out of the back with 16:30 and change. 2 corners for Kentucky, 1 for Duke, 4 shots for Kentucky, 3 for Duke. Each team has 1 shot on goal, and each team has 1 save. The scoreline, those zeros, Kentucky and Duke, non-conference matchup right here on ACC Network Extra. Dean Linke with you, flying solo tonight. Happy Friday to each and every one of you, as it just felt like a week that lingered on a little bit longer, maybe because of the weather, but good to be with you here as we push on to the weekend. Nifty footwork by Visconti as they try to get to Lindau, and Visconti gets it back, but his shot will hit the Koskinen Stadium fancy video board here in Durham, North Carolina, and Hamill will take his time. Of course, Hamill replacing Pulisic, who was so good in goal, the cousin of Christian Pulisic for so many years. Got to remember too now, the NCAA eligibility rules for athletes impacted by COVID-19. Any athlete on a roster in 2020 receives 1 extra season of eligibility and 1 extra year, which is kind of confusing as well as you start to call these games, because you know that 10, player you're talking about, you referred to him as a sophomore a year ago, and they're still a sophomore based on the NCAA rules. So some of these teams are going to be really, really good, but they may run out of jerseys. We'll see how that all plays out. One in the middle by Kentucky. Meinzer play it back to John Michael Bandy, the redshirt sophomore from Georgia. One back by Duke and knocked out of bounds. Stopping the attack there was Meinzer. Smart player is Meinzer. Kentucky coached by Johan Sedergren, who's won 96 games in 9 seasons as a Kentucky head coach, so 4 away from getting 100 in just 10 seasons. That's pretty impressive. A couple years ago when Maryland won the national championship, Maryland had to go to Kentucky to get that win, and that's a game that Johan Sedergren said he would like to run back. Of course, Maryland did not allow a single goal as they rolled on to that national championship. Kentucky felt like that was one for them and that they should have been in Santa Barbara instead of 3 Big Ten schools along with Akron. Michigan State, Indiana, Maryland, and Akron a few years ago. Knocked to the ground. Of course, Maryland used to come here a lot for big-time battles against Coach Rennie and then subsequently Coach Kerr. O'Connell feeds Kelly. Kelly was hoping to square it back to McGarvey, taken away by Kentucky. So here comes Kentucky on their transition. They've got decent numbers. Kentucky. Wilson, wearing the 10 jersey, snuck in there. So Jansen Wilson, a sophomore from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, Elizabethtown High School, wearing number 10, into the game for Johan Sedergren, who's assisted by Chase Wildman and Josh Oldroyd. Duke wins it back. There are times when it opens up and you see some space, and there are other times where you see all 20 field players scrunched together in quadrants. We'll see who can take advantage of that space, particularly the transition that John Kerr Jr. said was so important. Screen, first times it. Headed out of there by Duke. Second ball, which was one of the big points from Johan Sedergren. Winning the second balls would be key, and you saw Kentucky just do that right there. Turning with it is Grassow as he plays it over to Jones. Jones now over to Michael Bandy. Bjorgufsson checked all the way back as a big target man. Good idea, but a little bit too ambitious as Screen tried a give and go there with Wilson. Wilson's pass back to Screen will go out of bounds right in front of Johan Sedergren and the Kentucky bench. And that's where Stephen O'Connell looks to throw it in. O'Connell, who is from Rye, New York. Down near the corner. Knocked out of bounds under some pressure there. Luis Grassow, safety first, so Duke will have another throw in and another opportunity for Stephen O'Connell to come down and give it a flick. He will have the ability to get it into the 18 here.
Duke substitution, number 9, Scotty Taylor.
Duke bringing on Scotty Taylor, sophomore from Millburn, New Jersey. So he'll come on for the big man from Iceland. Scotty Taylor into the game. 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. Duke 0, Kentucky 0. Couple touches. Daly continues to be dangerous, but it'll be last touch by Daly and it'll come back to Kentucky. Each team with 5 fouls. Kentucky with 2 corners to 1 for Duke.
Kentucky substitution number 17, Enzo Maris.
Sedergren is going to bring on Enzo Maris, a freshman from California, by way of Shawnee Mission East High School in Kansas, part of that Sporting KC connection. You see a lot of players affiliated with MLS clubs on both these rosters. Ten minutes remaining here in the first half. Still looking for that first goal. Duke had a dangerous opportunity off a corner kick that slid all the way through to the outside of the 6, but mishit. Kentucky's taken some shots from distance, but really nothing.
Duke corner kick, number 22, Connor Kelly.
About. It'll be another corner kick now, the second corner of the game for Duke. This one will be taken by Connor Kelly, who came on as a first half substitution for John Kerr Jr. Connor Kelly, the junior. Kelly hits it with his right foot right into a Kentucky defender, cleared out of there. Back to Kelly. Referee says play on. Kelly with his right foot, pretty good ball, and handled there by Troutman, the redshirt sophomore listed at 6'2", 180. Foul called against Duke, so Kentucky with Screen over it will build it out from the back. Screen started all 6 fall matches. He was named to the Conference USA Commissioner's Honor Roll back in 2019. This after appearing in 9 matches as a freshman in 2018, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Wilson. Turnover there for Kentucky as John Michael Bandy just gave it away to Duke. Flag stays down. Duke is on! And pushed from behind. Great job by Troutman to come out. Duke was on and in, but not able to do anything with it was Scotty Taylor wearing that number 9 jersey. A little bit of pressure from behind, so he really wasn't able to crank it on Troutman. Another good opportunity, though, for Duke, who looks lively here tonight. looking for revenge against a team that knocked them off 4-2 way back in September. One back midfield by Meinzer. Meinzer stays with it. Gorfson will send it across and handled by Elliot Hamill, the junior from Scarsdale, New York. Now the man in the pipes for the Duke Blue Devils, wearing 00. Duke pushes it forward to Taylor, showing some pace. Taylor bumped off the ball, but Kentucky has to knock it out of bounds. Good work by Grasso going shoulder to shoulder, but you can tell he's got his hands full with the speed of number 9 for Duke, Scotty Taylor. Taylor, a 6 foot, 160-pound sophomore
Corner
from
kick for the
Milburn
Blue
High
Devils,
School
number 22,
in Milburn, New
Connor
Jersey.
Kelly.
And that'll lead to another corner kick for Connor Kelly and the Duke Blue Devils. With under 7 minutes remaining here in the first half, Connor Kelly waiting for some white jerseys to move. Connor Kelly delivers a pretty good ball in. Flicked out of there by Kentucky. Top of the 18, it'll stay with Duke. Right back in. Onside is Duke. And Duke still has it. Shot from distance is Daly, and Daly not on target. It'll come back to the Kentucky Wildcats. Ninth season at the helm for Johan Sedergren, Conference USA Coach of the Year in 2014, 15, and 18. Sitting on a record of 96, 49, and 22. He is a proud coach and a proud father of 2 children, Gavin and Abigail. Speaking of children, John Kerr Jr. has one of his kids on the roster, Cameron Kerr, wearing number 6. We think we may see him. He's been getting some time for John Kerr Jr., who's got another son, part of the Accelerator School, and he looks to be accelerating to the next level. Pretty talented family indeed, the Kerr family. Throw in for Kentucky. 5 minutes and change left here in the first half. Duke in white, Kentucky in dark. Good touches from Taylor and Duke. Duke working that right side. Duke has been dangerous. Little move, trying to get it inside the 18. That transition game is on, but Kentucky does well to get those dark blue jerseys back and knock it away. It'll go out of bounds off Kentucky. It'll be a throw in for Duke. Thought the referee was stopping. No, he did. Yeah, he stopped the clock at 5:04. The referee running over makes me think that perhaps there's some blood on the jersey. Is coming over is Marcel Meinzer. So Meinzer with the referee, and with the clock stopped at 5:04. Duke, meanwhile, will make some more changes. So Duke going way deep. Miguel Ramirez wearing number 25, the freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. And Cameron Kerr, I just talked about Cameron Kerr. He'll come into the game. Daly, I thought, had a really good run. The freshman from Elmont, New York, Elmont Memorial, 26. Really dangerous early doors. In fact, so early it was tough to make out the number, but not make out the sparkle of Daly, who will take a break. Expect to see him in the second half for John Kerr, Coach Brady, and the Duke Blue Devils. Duke continues to have quite a bit of the possession here. Ramirez into the game. We'll drop it back to Murphy. Back to Ramirez. Kelly, who has taken a ton of corner kicks since coming on. Duke now with the advantage in corners. 3 corners to 2 for Kentucky. Trying to move it is Ramirez. Sent into the 18, but no white jerseys there. Cleared by Kentucky and taken down by Wilson. Wilson, who came off the bench for Sedergren. Here's screen. It'll be out of bounds off of screen and come back to Duke, as we've got just 4 minutes and approximately 15 seconds remaining here in the first half. No score, Duke and Kentucky. Good move by Wilson, only to have it denied and one back by Kelly. Kelly will give it to sub Ramirez, the two subs in combination. Then Ramirez will give it right back as Meinzer's back in there. And a hard tackle coming. Referee says no, is coming in hard. There was Ramirez. Referee's gonna let him play on. Still down on the ground is the captain, Bailey Rouse. And now Duke will probably knock it out of bounds as Rouse is dealing with the injury, and the referee will stop the clock at 3:37. A little bit of pushing and shoving here now. Is still down on the ground is Bailey Rouse, the senior from Littleton, Colorado. While the trainer tends to Rouse, another trainer onto the field to try to give his players some water. Referee coming over to the fourth officials table. He's looking like he wants to take a look at some video of that play, and it'll be interesting to see what he's looking at, because on this pass through I don't have a look at it, so I'm a little jealous. 3:37 remaining, both team with 5 shots. Duke has 2 shots on goal to just 1 for Kentucky. Kentucky's been forced to make 2 saves. Duke has made just 1. Duke with those 5 shots, 2 on frame and the single save. 3:37 remaining. The referee still looking, I believe, at that last foul. Kentucky 5 shots, 1 on goal and the 2 saves respectively. Duke has gone to the bench 5 times. Kentucky has gone to their bench 3 times. Troutman in goal for Kentucky, Hamill in goal for Duke. Kerr, Taylor, Mockery, Kelly, and Ramirez off the bench for John Kerr's team. Wilson, Hostad, and Maurice off the bench for Johan Sedergren's Kentucky team. Duke welcomed the addition of the tall striker from Iceland, Thor Ufarsson, for the spring portion of this campaign. He had a long career with an amateur club just south of Reykjavik, which I had the honor of going to during my time as the press officer for the U.S. national team, heading over to Iceland to take on Iceland and their great fans. Of course, just a couple World Cups ago where Iceland captured the fancy of everybody. They play some pretty good soccer over in Iceland. Enjoyed that time. That also included a visit to Norway and Sweden. Of course, Sweden is where Coach Cook found Johan Sedergren, as the story goes. All right, so the player is back up. And now Duke will play it out of the back. Frick, back from that red card, missed that UNC Charlotte 0-0 tie. A couple years ago, he was a red card machine, kind of was able to maintain his composure, but did get a red card as the fall season went to an end, thus missing that UNC Charlotte game. Throw in at 3 minutes remaining. Say hello to the other ACC coaches tuning in to get a scout. That includes George Kiefer, the top man at NC State, who I know is watching. What a job he's done for the Wolfpack. Little dribble and out of bounds. It'll come back to Kentucky. Good defense there by the Wildcats. Still no score. 2:20 remaining here in the first half. Remember, 6 goals when these two teams met back on September 21, a 4-2 victory in Lexington for Kentucky. I saw Kentucky play last year in Bloomington as part of my coverage in the booth. And of course, they had the big 6'7" giant in the back, and they had the Fukuse, wonderful goalkeeper from Honduras who's with the national team. They wanted that one bad. It was won though by Indiana. Frick. Duke now. Final 80 seconds here of the first half, and they'll have another corner kick. So Duke will hustle over. They got plenty of time to deliver a solid corner kick and plenty of time to get a ton of players forward. They might want to actually take their time. That's how much time they have.
Corner
65
kick, number 22, Connor
seconds.
Kelly.
And Connor Kelly will take the corner on that side as well. Fourth
1
quarter
minute
of the
remaining
game
in the first
for
half.
Duke
1 minute.
to just 2 for Kentucky, as we are under a minute remaining here in the first half. Duke over the ball, driven in, headed first by Kentucky, one back by Duke. Little touch, back across, still loose, went off of a Kentucky player. It'll be another corner kick, and now the clock will be a factor. No, they won't, because they'll stop the clock. As down for Duke, wearing the 5 jersey, is Antino Lopez. So not a bad time to be down, as now Duke can take their time setting up for yet another corner kick. And what a shocker it would be if Duke could squeeze one in here in the final 36 seconds off a corner. The referee now saying
Corner
that
kick
the
for the
trainer
Blue
can
Devils,
come on
number
for
22,
Duke.
Connor Kelly.
Now I think the referee wants to have another look at what's going on. Again, he gets more looks than I get. I may go down there and call the second half down there by him. Although it is a little chilly here. Not terrible soccer conditions, all things considered. It's the second time there's been a visit for a video, and usually what they're looking for is a major infraction, something that could be deemed a card, or other times even a penalty. Lopez is up now. That means Duke's going to have to take this corner kick down a man, as the referee still taking his time to look at what happened with the collision that saw Lopez go down and force him to stop the clock with exactly 35 seconds remaining. 7 fouls for Duke, 4 corners. They have not been offside once, as for the most part, short of these delays for the referee reviewing, I believe, fouls, this game had been flying along. John Kerr Jr. pacing in front of his sideline. So now the referee talking to John Kerr Jr. as coming over and waiting to get the signal to come back in will be Lopez.
Taking the corner kick, number 22 for the Blue Devils, Connor Kelly.
See Lopez kind of giving a signal that he may have been elbowed, but the referee didn't see anything as he took a look at it. So Kelly now with a corner kick. Duke playing with the man down, as Lopez has not been sent back on. Now he'll come back on for the final 30 seconds. Good shield by the Kentucky D, and it'll come back to Kentucky for what should be one final kick from the goalkeeper and bring this first half to a halt. 12 fouls total, 6 corners total.
10, 9,
advantage of 2
8,
in both categories
7,
for Duke. 7 to 5 on fouls and 4 to 2 on corners.
3,
6
2,
shots for Duke,
1.
5 for Kentucky, but through 45 minutes of play in this blue
Your halftime
blood
score,
battle
Duke
here,
0,
non-conference
Kentucky
style.
0.
It's 6-1 Kentucky with 0, and the Duke Blue Devils, who come in after that tie against UNC Charlotte at 2-6-1, also with 0. I'm Dean Linke. We'll step aside for 15, and we'll be back to bring you the call of the second half right here on ACC Network Extra. One more time, Duke and Kentucky tied at zeros at the half.
change. We're standing at the border where history is made. We're cranking up the lights now so everyone can see it's all happening right now. We're gonna make you believe it's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is us. We do what we wanna. We'll go the rooftop. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. We'll make the whole world hear us. So throw your hands up high. We're about to show you why they feel us. Here comes the battle cry. Here comes the battle cry.
Welcome back to Koskinen Stadium, Durham, North Carolina, as we bring you men's soccer coverage of the Blue Bloods. Kentucky in town to take on the home team, the Duke Blue Devils. Second half getting ready to start after 45 minutes of action and 2 visits in their respective locker rooms. The score zeros here. Try to get you set on who stays, as remember, Kerr, Taylor, Mockery, Kelly, and Ramirez came off the bench for John Kerr. Wilson, Holstad, and Maurice came off the bench for Johan Settergren, the top man at Kentucky. Duke back out there in their all whites. Kentucky out there in their darks with black stripes and blue stripes. Dean Linke with you on ACC Network Extra for this Conference USA ACC matchup. Kentucky from Conference USA for men's soccer. Of course, the Duke Blue Devils part of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Peter Stroud wearing number 14 back out there, as is Luis Grasso wearing number 4 for Kentucky. They try to play it quickly to Meinzer. Meinzer was on the ground quite a bit, as was Bailey Rouse. A couple fouls that the referee wanted to look at. No cards were given, and the second half is underway. Again, reminding you that both these teams met back on September 21 at Kentucky, a game that saw Kentucky win it 4-2. Kentucky winning just a few days after losing their opener against Notre Dame. Taken away by Duke on that back line. We can tell you that wearing number 26, Amir Daly, who really made some great moves along the right side, is back out there. So the freshman from Elmont, New York, touches it right there, gives it right back though, is Rouse, who was one of the players that was down for quite a while, wearing 18 back out there for Kentucky. We'll get a better look this time around at John Michael Bandy, the redshirt sophomore, wearing number 3, as Rouse wins it for Kentucky. They play it forward. Snapped out of there. Dangerous now for Evans. Daniel Evans inside the 18 and cleaned up by Hamill. And Hamill, a little collision there with Daniel Evans, a little pushing and shoving. The referee comes over, and a yellow card will come to Daniel Evans, the junior from the Colony, Texas Lone Star High School, was not able to slow down and ran into Hamill. Hamill didn't like it, and a yellow card, I think, was issued only to the Kentucky player. I'll confirm whether Hamill got one. I don't think he did. The referee still having a discussion with Daniel Evans. So Elliot Hamill, the junior from Scarsdale, New York, the starting goalkeeper. Will Pulisic finally moved on, the cousin of Christian Pulisic, after being in goal for quite some time. It's interesting, the goalkeepers for Duke men's and women's are pretty famous. Jones, the goalkeeper, her brother is the quarterback for the New York Giants, as that one is still loose. And then, of course, Will Pulisic, his cousin is Christian Pulisic, and of course Will Pulisic's finally moved on, but there's something about being a goalkeeper. We'll have to check out Elliot Hamill and see what famous relatives he has. Busy day of sports on the campus of Duke, as a lot of ACC teams in town for softball, including Virginia and Pitt, that is playing over at Duke's beautiful softball field. Louisville and Boston College were in town to take on NC State and North Carolina. So between Raleigh, Chapel Hill, and Durham, tons of sports going on, as the fall sports and spring sports will kind of get melded together here in what will be one of the most interesting springs we've ever seen in the world of Olympic sports at the college level. They tend to Amir Daly, and he'll check back to the 4th official, as once again we've got a stoppage. The referee will drop it back to Kentucky's Ryan Troutman, the redshirt sophomore, who is from Louisville, decided to come back after starting his career at Bowling Green in the state of Ohio. Kentucky will try to build it out of the back, and they'll go back to Troutman. Troutman feeling a little bit of pressure, boots it long at midfield. That second ball won by Kentucky. Johan Sedergren, remember that was one of his keys. John Kerr's keys were set plays and transition. It'll be a throw in for Kentucky. Thrown in quickly by John Michael Bandy. John Michael Bandy will get it back. John Michael Bandy, good little touch. I like that. First touch it back. That's why you play those 5v2 games for touches just like that. One out of the back again. And Duke checking back is their big, tall forward from Iceland, Ulfarsson. This one will go out of bounds. Duke runs out of real estate. It'll come back to Kentucky. 7 fouls for Duke, no offside, 4 corner kicks, most of them coming in the last few minutes of that first half. Taking their time right now is Kentucky. Little flick. Back and forth. Second ball won this time by Duke. Duke now working the far side, left side from my broadcast position here at the beautiful Koskinen Stadium. This incredible press box. Very nice. Little touch by Kentucky, and earning the throw in that time was, nope, Daniel Evans. I thought Daniel Evans was right that it went off of Duke, but they'll say no, off Daniel Evans, so it'll be a throw in quickly for Daly. Battle. Throw in for Daly. Kind of a rough start here to the second half. Duke taking their time, getting players forward. Duke started on the right side with the free kick. Now they're all the way over to the left side, far side. On your screen as you look at it on ACC Network Extra. Duke looking for a foul, but with 3 dark blue jerseys around there to go out of bounds, it'll just come back to Duke. You had to think with 6 goals in that first game way back on September 21 that one of these teams would find the back of the net, but so far nothing doing. Really the better opportunities came from this young Duke team. Not the team that has won 6 in a row and scored buckets of goals in Kentucky, who's been good, but not quite as dangerous with their opportunities as Duke was. Duke may regret missing a couple of those. We'll see. Little touch Well done by Jones to flick it back to his center back teammate Grasso, who sent it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in back to Duke. Neither team has been whistled for an offside. The four corners bounced by two corners for Kentucky. Shot so far, 7 for Duke, 5 for the Wildcats. Duke now working the right side. Duke with another corner kick. So good work by Duke. And an opportunity for a corner kick.
Corner kick for the Blue Devils, number 7, Daniel Wright.
Daniel Wright, who was subbed out of the game for Connor Kelly, and he took the corner kicks before Kelly came on. He took the first one anyway, and then Kelly took the next 3 in that first half. Now Wright back out there wearing that 7 jersey, takes this corner, delivered far post. Really good ball, but Kentucky able to clear it first. Good little touch by Daly, and he gives it right back. Duke continues to fight for it, and it'll be knocked out of bounds, and Duke will keep possession. So Duke coming out on a mission here in the second half to continue what they were working on in the first half, and that is keep possession, get it inside the 18, and try to put some pressure on the redshirt sophomore goalkeeper Ryan Troutman. Good ball over to Wright. Wright is in. Wright slips. There was no contact there, so nobody arguing, complaining about the fact that he fell down in the 18. And that's a foul against Duke right there. It'll come back to Meinzer. Meinzer, the junior from Germany. Both these teams with some international flair, familiar theme in college soccer. The referee once again stops the clock. I think he's done it 5 or 6 times at 35:49, so on contact, the clock will start up again. There's the whistle. The clock has not started yet, and it will right now. Sent across, deflected out. It'll be a corner kick. No, they'll say off of Kentucky. Great job defending Daniel Evans.
Substitution for Kentucky, number 10, Jansen Wilson replaces number 7, Daniel Evans.
And with that, Daniel Evans will go out, and coming on will be Jansen Wilson, who provided a bit of a spark for Johan Settergren in the first half. Here's Daly. Daly trying to drop it up top to the big tall man from Iceland. Touch there for Bjorfsson. It'll be a throw in for Kentucky. Coming over to take it is number 3, John Michael Bandy. Duke flying the other way. Referee letting them play here now. 34 minutes remaining. Kentucky will win it back after Duke had it in their own 18 for just a second. Duke wins it back again. Duke battling here at home. Duke has it ripped away again by Kentucky. Good 1v1 defending by both teams at the moment here to start the second half. Daly has got the ability to tuck it inside, also has the ability to run the distance on the right side. He wanted it back. Let's see if he gets it back here as it finds the feet of Wright to go out of bounds and stay with Duke. Duke has looked good here with a lot of youngsters. Again, they did sub 5 in that first half, so you know they've got the ability to go deeper as John Kerr and Coach Brady and the Duke coaching staff trying to find the perfect combinations. Dealing with this ridiculously difficult schedule. Duke earns the foul. This is a prime time opportunity. It's right down Broadway, right in the middle. I want to say 27 yards out. I mean, right in the middle. Good opportunity to bomb one in here, and I think it's going to be a shot from somebody with a big old either right foot or left foot. They could go either way because it is right down the middle of the park. Again, probably 28 yards out, and directing traffic is Troutman in goal for Kentucky. Duke taking their time. This should be a shot. And it is deflected. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick for the Duke Blue Devils. As the big man from Iceland taking that free kick from distance.
Corner kick for the Blue Devils, number 7, Daniel Wright.
So Daniel Wright will take another corner kick. With the right foot. Flicked out of there, and it'll return to Kentucky and Troutman. So good effort by Duke to earn the foul. Nice attempt by Ufarsson from Iceland. Goes off the wall, corner kick, and then after all of that, Kentucky taking their time and watching the first 15 here of the second half melt down as we approach 30 minutes remaining in regulation. Again, reminding you, if there is no score, they will go to sudden victory, overtime, 2 short stanzas. Somebody scores a goal, they win. Looked like a handball that time by McGarvey, and he will get called for it. Out of bounds, off of Duke. It'll stay with Kentucky. Kentucky comes into this game winners of 6 straight, 6-1. And during that time, they scored 16 goals. This after being held scoreless against Notre Dame. And a decent opportunity is now Kentucky working their way into Duke's 18 as that shot coming from Bjorgufsson, wearing number 9, the sophomore from Norway. A 3-4-2-1 system for John Kerr and the Duke Blue Devils. Played out of the back by Lopez. Lopez had to have the trainer take a look at him with 30 seconds remaining, and Duke had an opportunity for a final corner kick, but not able to score. One back again by Duke, looking lively on it is Peter Stroud, taken right back by Kentucky. Now one again by Duke. So every time Duke loses it, they are able to fight back and get it. McGarvey will drop it quickly to Wright. Wright on the left side looking for Stephen O'Connell, just a step too late. Out of bounds, quick throw in for Duke. Handled there again by Meinzer, who's everywhere, wearing that number 8 jersey for Kentucky, including right there with that big touch. So now Kentucky will try to build it out of the back. This one hit really hard. Sliding for it is Brock Lindow, the junior from Canada, the Lawrence Park Collegiate Institute. So quickly, here comes Duke the other way. Stroud wearing that 14 jersey. Stroud stays with it. Daly making a run. Daly now will feel the pressure, pushed off the ball. And Kentucky will keep it. It'll go off of Daly and back to Kentucky. That's good defense on the speedy Amir Daly, listed at 5'8", but a flyweight at 135. The freshman will put on some pounds during his time at Durham, so give him a couple years, assuming he hangs around. Different landscape for college soccer coaches. A lot of times they think they've got 2 or 3 big-time recruits coming in, and then they sign a homegrown or an affiliation with a Major League Soccer team, and next thing you know, you're looking there and you're like, wait, what happened to my right back? And you've got to pivot, which is a big word as we deal with this pandemic. 27 and change left here, still scoreless, zeros, Kentucky and Duke. Men's soccer on ACC Network Extra. Daly. Daly likes to cut inside. Can Duke win this one here? Sliding tackle out of bounds again. It'll be a throw-in for Duke. It does feel like there's been multiple throw-ins for Duke, multiple opportunities where Duke loses it for a second, wins it right back, and Kentucky a little bit on the back of their heels, which is not Kentucky-like. As we mentioned, all those goals they scored, including 4 the first time these two teams met back in September. Duke sends it back into the 18, sent right back out by Kentucky, who is bending but not breaking. O'Connell will bring it all the way back. Waiting on it is Frick. Frick back in there after missing that UNC Charlotte game with a red card. Quick ball from Stroud, plays it forward. That final pass not there for Kentucky, and Kentucky just deciding to boot it long for now, out of trouble, not really trying to win it back and play it out of the back, which is a little bit different. Kentucky, of course, dealing with the loss of 2 big-time players at the end of the fall part of the schedule. Our first real good opportunity to see what a 21st century model might look like. Of course, several coaches, including several coaches in the ACC, like UNC's Carlos Samuano, Jeremy Gunn at Stanford, Sasho Shirosky from the Big Ten at Maryland, heavily involved in the idea of playing X amount of games in the fall, X amount of games in the spring, and then celebrating college soccer in good weather in front of big crowds, and then also allowing the athletes to just play 1 game a week and reduce the injuries that you see when you jam in so many games in a 90-day period. First chance to really look at it. So you talk about making lemonade out of lemons. Perhaps the NCAA can do that and consider that 21st century model that has been pushed for quite some time. So as it goes out of bounds, there's another player down, this time a Duke player helping a Kentucky player back up to the ground. Fair play. Trainer not coming out. Clock continues to move. 24 and 30 remaining. Duke switches it all the way across. Kentucky does, rather, all the way across to Asensio, wearing number 29, who's come on for Johan Sedergren. Little nifty little move by Wilson, who came off the bench in the first half and is out there. Kentucky's in. Kentucky, in a blink of an eye, they can hurt you. They are dangerous. Looked like Duke has had more of the possession, and that one will be left alone by Hamill. Good move by him to let it roll out of bounds as it was starting to rise on him. Didn't want to touch it and lead to a corner kick, so he smartly lets it go out, and he'll take it from the 6. Is coming back into the game now is number 20, Case Cox, a redshirt freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, St. Xavier High School, into the game for the Kentucky Wildcats and Johan Sedergren. Mistake by Duke. Frick trying to bomb it long, sends it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Kentucky right at midfield. Those second balls that Johan Sedergren were concerned about have been going to Duke. Kentucky throws it in thinking it was their ball. It's not their ball, it's Duke's ball, as we're under 23 minutes remaining. Is there a goal, or is overtime looming? Duke and UNC Charlotte, just one. Not even 1 week ago. Let me confirm that. They took on UNC Charlotte, 1 week ago, 0s. And that game was right here as well at Koskinen. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Kentucky. Duke 10 fouls, Kentucky 7 fouls, just 2 corners. Those corners came early in the first half. They've not had another corner for quite some time. As Duke has 6 corners to just 2 for Kentucky. And quite a bit of the possession, as they got it again now. Even with 3 in the back, Duke not afraid to build it out of the back with Frick. Frick wearing number 3, the senior from Austria. And another tackle on Daly. Kentucky whistled right in front of the Duke bench. Peter Stroud will leave it, as coming over is Antino Lopez. Lopez, a freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, Federal Way Internet Academy. You're seeing that a lot now with schooling and soccer tying together. In fact, Terry Ransberry, who went to Duke, one of the smartest people I know, was a key part of starting the Accelerator School, which is now everywhere in New England, in Spain,
number 11, Nicholas
in Raleigh,
Mockery.
Cary. As I mentioned, John Kerr Jr.'s got a son that's part of that program, where they do their schooling and hit the soccer pitch and watch video, and pretty amazing concept. Terry Ransberry also had a daughter that was a ballerina that did the same thing, and it worked out perfectly for her. Little flick, back and forth, finally hits the ground, and it's quite the foul right there. You see both benches erupt in no card, as once again down on the ground is Bailey Rouse, who has been hit a couple times. 10th foul for the Duke Blue Devils. And Kentucky taking their time. Leon Jones, wearing number 5, the redshirt junior from Scotland. Jones drives it long. First ball, second ball, Duke. Starting to get a little bit chippy here now, as both teams searching for that elusive goal. Won't be 6 in this one. Hard tackle coming in, studs up, and that looks like it's going to be a yellow card, and not happy about the call. Meinzer will get the yellow, wearing the number 8 jersey, so
yellow card to Kentucky.
We were waiting for some cards to come out, and Meinzer will get one, as he came in aggressively, and down goes number 12, Ufarsson, the big tall freshman from Iceland. So Ufarsson, who took that free kick as well. It's not every day you see your 9 come back and take a free kick, but it was dead center, and he popped it off the Kentucky wall that led to a corner kick. Switching the point of attack is Stroud, who can send it a long way. Good little touch here. Now Duke will try to string together some passes and see if they can get something inside the 18 and on frame. Right now they're going backwards. A little more pressure coming from Johan Sedergren's Kentucky team. Little touch there from Mockery, wearing number 11. Mockery has started a handful of games, come off the bench, does whatever it takes. Mockery, another one of those players, feels like he's been around a long time. He's from Argentina. As that international flair for both teams is all over the globe. Stroud will square it. Quickly getting rid of it is McGarvey. This is O'Connell. Enough pressure for Kentucky to win it back for a moment, but then Duke wins it again, taken away by Kentucky. So Johan Sedergren's concern about the second ball was worthy, as Duke has been able to win quite a few, but give Kentucky credit, even after Duke does win it, Kentucky's been able to come in and rip it away on several occasions. Part of the reason why we're still at zeros with less than 18 minutes remaining in regulation and overtime looming. Indeed, it's chilly, but not unbearable. At least no precipitation, which was an all-day occurrence yesterday. Duke has shut out 2 opponents this year. Kentucky has been shut out just 1 time. That was their first game, a loss against Notre Dame. They've won 6 in a row. Reminding you that with so few teams taking the field in the fall, all the preseason awards and rankings were put on hold until this spring. Headlining Duke's preseason honors is Peter Stroud on the Top Drawer Soccer's preseason freshman best 11 squad. Stroud, a starter in all 8 games in the fall, is among 4 ACC rookies on that 11-man team. Junior defender Ian Murphy garnered an honorable mention nod for the Top Drawer Soccer Team of the Week after helping the Blue Devils shut out UNC Charlotte 0-0 in double overtime just a week ago. Playing all 861 minutes this season, Murphy was an anchor in the middle of the defense. The Blue Devils held the 49ers to 9 shots over the course of 110 minutes, 5 of which came on frame. And Duke getting ready to bring on some subs. Scotty Taylor, who showed some speed in that first half, and Connor Kelly, who was able to deliver some long balls and a couple corner kicks. So Kelly and Taylor will come on to add some spark here for Duke. With 16 minutes remaining, a little different look for that back line for Kentucky. To his credit, even Johan Sedergren essentially saying, and I'm paraphrasing, that Duke is not a 2-6-1 team. They are a good team. Yes, we beat them. We were able to get a couple free kicks knocked in, but they scored on us and they're dangerous. So he was not taking this game for granted, and by the looks of things, that was a good idea because Duke has had quite a bit of possession. They just have not had an answer with the final pass. Another example illustrated there as they lose it out of bounds. It'll come back to Kentucky. Let's see what Kelly and Taylor can do. As coming out of the game is Jack Doran, who did not play in that UNC Charlotte game. He had a bad hammy and has not looked super explosive today.
Kentucky substitutions, number 15, Brock
like he's been around forever.
Number 7, Daniel Evans.
Duke. Looks like they're going to shuffle a few things around as well. We'll see where everybody ends up. Under 15 minutes remaining in regulation. Desperate for a goal from either team. Or Duke will play their second consecutive overtime game. Duke also got their first win in overtime way back on September 26th against the Wolfpack. And they lost in double overtime at Clemson. And then, of course, the 0-0 double overtime game a week ago against UNC Charlotte. So 3 overtime games already in this strange season for the Duke Blue Devils. Meinzer wins it. He wins it with authority over to Evans. Now they'll push it on the right side. Kentucky, just like that, can get it into the 18. Little flick, still loose. Referee letting them play. 4 white jerseys surround Kentucky, and Duke will come out of it. Here's that transition for Duke. And taken away. Good run out of the back for the Duke Blue Devils. Kentucky will have a corner kick coming. So corner kick coming for Kentucky. Ian Murphy with a great run out of the back all the way to midfield before losing it. Now gets back in position to defend. Ian Murphy wearing that 13 jerseys from Redlands, California, Redlands East Valley. I think Redlands, California, I think of Ralph Perez, assistant coach of the 1990 U.S. World Cup team. Coaching out in Redlands for a long time in college soccer, a little lower level. Handled there by Hamill for Duke. The question remains, is there a goal to be found in regulation? Most obvious answer is it doesn't appear so, as neither team has been super dangerous in and around the 18. As I told you earlier, Duke had a corner kick that was able to seep through and make it to the far post and just miss hit by a Duke player on the far post. I will not say names. Pressure on Troutman. He drops it over to Luis Grassau. Played forward to Lindau. That was a good idea to spring Duke forward. More pressure again on Troutman, but he is up for it. Again, Enrique Facuse, the Honduras national team member, is not here. Troutman, the word is, though, he's gone toe-to-toe with the celebrated goalkeeper Facuse. Kentucky, as I told you, 6 days from now will start a 3-game homestand with Akron, Bowling Green, and UNC Charlotte. Duke, on the other hand, will have UNC Wilmington here on the 26th, then head to Virginia Tech, games against Notre Dame and Pittsburgh, then at Virginia, at NC State, and then a home game against North Carolina.
Duke substitution number 8, Jack Doran.
So Jack Doran had a brief break next to John Kerr Jr. They made some adjustments and he's back on there, so we'll see what he can do. A little bit of coaching. We'll see what happens with the Duke offense, particularly as they look for a goal on their home field and a chance for a shot at redemption against a team that beat them back in September, Kentucky. Hustling over for it was Murphy. Murphy made that great run out of the back, and really not enough white jerseys joining in with the defender as he made the run through midfield and looked pretty crafty doing it, but didn't have any support. Duke running downhill, attacking is Mockery. Mockery, one too many touches, doesn't give it up. Behind Mockery, trailing was Lopez. Lopez wanted it, didn't get it. Duke hustles over, can't get to it on time, and you see some frustration coming there for Peter Stroud as it'll go back to Kentucky as they bring back in Mason Visconti.
Number 11, Mason Visconti.
Visconti will come on for Case Cox, who had a limited run, the redshirt freshman. Nonetheless, some time against Duke, as we now have just over 9 minutes remaining in regulation with overtime looming. Good little touch from Taylor. Taylor showing that speed. He's got Kelly, but read perfectly by Kentucky. So once again, that final pass goes wanting for Duke. Now Kentucky trying to do something with it. Visconti just came off the bench. Here's a good little pass. Kentucky can score right here. They dial one up and miss hit. Just like that on the counterattack, Daniel Evans ends up with it in the 18. Had time to connect, but hit it high and did not challenge Hamill. Wow, good opportunity for Kentucky. And that would have been a heartbreaker for Duke, who has, I think even by Johan Sedergren's standards, I think would say Duke has had a little bit more of the ball. But Kentucky can pounce that quick. That's why they've scored so many goals. Good little flick, trying to find Kelly. And played back is Grassow as he plays it back to Troutman, his goalkeeper. Troutman mishits it. It'll be a throw in Duke. Look like Duke is maybe hoping to make another change. I'm not quite sure. One of their coaches was doing the change. Little back heel there, back to Kelly. And Kelly, does he earn a corner kick? He does not. They'll say that comes back off of Kelly. And now Kentucky will take their time. Frick and Murphy, the veterans, anchoring the defense for Duke this spring. Frick returns to the lineup after missing last week with that red card. And Murphy played in the middle, and now Murphy slides to his left. Taylor again. Taylor, he's got a pretty good engine here. He's got a good engine, but can't get by Kentucky. Lopez has his pocket picked. And you see Stroud. And now a yellow card will go to 15, Lindau, as Stroud was able to sell it after the fact.
Number 15, Brock Lindau.
Part of the game. Lopez. Clock is stopped again at 7:03. Referee in position. Lopez. First ball, Kentucky. Second ball, Duke. Third ball, Duke. They play it back in. An opportunity for Doran, but Kentucky's there first. Duke will keep it. They send it back into the 18, headed out. Duke sends it back to the 18 again. Once again, Kentucky sends it out of bounds, and they'll say Duke's ball throw in far side. Kentucky thought it was theirs, but it'll stay with Duke. .6:25 remaining here in regulation. Still no score. Duke and Kentucky, a battle of the Blue Bloods. The darker Blue Bloods, Kentucky and Duke. Duke again pressuring that back line, and once again, Kentucky just has to knock it out of bounds, old school. And Duke will have another throw-in opportunity. We have seen this a ton. Don't keep track of throw-ins, but Duke has a zillion of them. Even when they lose the ball, Duke can win it back until it comes to that final pass in the 18, and Kentucky seems okay with it. Of course, Kentucky had a great opportunity left for Daniel Evans minutes ago, but did not hit it on frame. He was wide open all by himself, 2 or 3 yards inside the 18, and absolutely mishit it, flied it, skied it. Offside is Duke. Ryan Troutman, 6'2", 180-pound redshirt sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, by way of Bowling Green State University. Shout out to BGSU. That's where my mom went to school. How about that? That'll get me a cup of coffee tomorrow. This one turned. Taylor with the speed. Denied by Asensio. And again, one back by Duke. Stroud Peter Stroud, a lively player. He'll leave it. Throw in here for Mockery. Mockery. He's got some good size. Throws it in looking for Taylor, and Mockery will have another throw in. 4:20 remaining in regulation. Duke trying to end it and not go to overtime and back-to-back games. And it'll trickle out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick, and here come the white jerseys. Corner kick, Duke Blue Devils.
Corner kick for the Blue Devils, number 22, Connor Kelly.
So Connor Kelly will take it. Taylor's in there. Mockery's going to try to get in front of Troutman, the goalkeeper. They'll spread out on the corner, and it's a Kentucky defender that heads it out of there. Duke keeps possession. They get back onside, sent in, and cleared out again by Meinzer. Meinzer pops it high in the air. Can Kentucky quickly go? They can. Here comes Kentucky on the counterattack. Numbers are decent as Duke sent everybody forward. Visconti will run it down, wearing 11. Visconti, nifty little move, and held up just around the 18. Duke has it, and now Duke will send it out of bounds back to Kentucky, as it looked like Murphy took a shot to the head as Visconti was dealing. I think there might have been a nutmeg involved in that as well. What a quick counterattack from Kentucky. They've absorbed a lot of pressure, although harmless pressure for the most part from Duke, and then they counter, and now they've got a throw in as we're under 3 minutes remaining here in regulation with overtime looming. The dark blue and black jerseys of Kentucky with the throw in far side. Johan Settergren all the way down near the 18, barking out instructions for this throw in for Kentucky. Kentucky gets it into the 18. They're looking for a little flick. It'll fall to Kentucky, and Duke will win it out, and Duke just sends it out of there. Safety first, as overtime seems almost certain. Troutman bombs it long. Meinzer, who's everywhere wearing that 8 jersey, lost it though. Duke will play it to Taylor. Taylor cannot get by the talented Leon Jones, who plays it back. Won back again by Duke and cleaned up here by Grasso. Grasso back to Meinzer. Played over the top. Murphy pushed, and that is definitely a foul. The assistant referee helping out the middle as we now have just 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Hamill completely mishit that one. He went all the way over there where the foul was called to take it, and then proceeded to just send it into the bleachers. That will not work for John Kerr Jr. Nobody home as Duke will play it out of the back. Frick wearing that 3 jersey. 0-0 a week ago with UNC Charlotte. The 49ers in town, and that went 110 and couldn't find a goal, and they've gone almost 89, Duke has, and not able to find the back of the net. Kentucky comes in red hot, scoring goals and buckets.
1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
Their best opportunity came when it fell to Evans here in the second half. We got a Duke player down with the clock stopped at 52. I believe it's Stephen O'Connell wearing the 2 jersey. Let's see if Hamill can do a little better taking this one. The goalkeeper for the Duke Blue Devils wearing 00, Elliot Hamill Jr. from Scarsdale, New York. Last one he sent into the bleachers with no pressure. Better work. And Kentucky will let it roll out of bounds. So same result though, essentially, as Hamill kicks it, it goes the distance, rolls out of bounds over the end line, and it'll be A goal kick back to Kentucky with just 35 seconds remaining and overtime on the way. Pings around. Look like a handball. They'll play on. Evans
10,
with 10 seconds
9,
remaining.
8,
Earns
7,
a corner kick. They'll run it
6,
over there.
5,
They'll put it down.
4,
5 seconds remaining.
3,
Steps back. Sends
2,
the corner in.
1
second remaining. And 90 minutes. Not enough. We will go to overtime here in the Battle of the Blue Bloods. Kentucky
toward the end of the second
at
half.
6-1.
0
Duke at
to
2,
0.
6-1. 90 minutes of regulation. No score. Duke and Kentucky. As you're watching college soccer on ACC Network Extra, I'll step aside and join you for the start of overtime number 1 from Koskinen Stadium here in Durham, North Carolina. Welcome back to Koskinen Stadium here on ACC Network Extra, where 90 minutes is not enough for the Battle of the Blue Bloods. Kentucky from Conference USA in Durham to take on the ACC's Duke Blue Devils in men's soccer. A couple captains will meet. Jack Doran for Duke and Bailey Rouse for Kentucky. And now we'll get you set to start overtime number 1. Still have about 65 seconds or so to count down. Kentucky with 8 shots, just 1 on goal. The They do have 2 saves in the game so far. Duke with 12 fouls, just 1 offside. They have 7 corner kicks, Duke has, but has not been able to find the back of the net against a Kentucky team that scored 4 on them back in September 21. Three corners for Kentucky. Overall, 22 fouls, 10 for Kentucky, 12 for Duke. Offside, just 1 lonely offside. 3 corners for Kentucky, just 1 in the second half. Shots are almost dead even. Duke with 9, Kentucky with 8, so give Kentucky credit, because I do feel like a little bit more of the possession has been for Duke, but who knows, could be wrong on that. Could be lack of quality possession, because Kentucky, when they have countered, they have been dangerous. Final seconds counting down, and they'll set the clock for the first 10-minute overtime. You score, you win. It's that simple. 10 minutes on the scoreboard here at Koskinen Stadium, a beautiful facility, and Kentucky in their darks will play it forward. Headed back where it came from by McGarvey. Now, looks like a card is going to come out and go to number 12. Farson.
Yellow card to Duke, number 12,
Iceland.
Thor Ulfarsson.
So Ulfarsson gets the yellow card. Tor in the books for Duke, number 12. I'd like to see what he could do in combination with Taylor, just saying, as it bounces around. Kentucky turning and somehow was able to get a shot off, and that almost ended the game right there, 22 seconds into the first overtime. Kentucky player Meinzer goes down, hit to the head. Kentucky's going to keep on playing. They have possession, so that's going to force Meinzer to get up, so he does. Meinzer gets up. Kentucky can win it here. Kentucky sent across, loose, still loose, still loose. Finally cleared out for the big man from Iceland to check it back. Bright making a good run. Farson had it for a moment, taken away by Luis Grasso. So Luis Grasso, rather, is how you should say it, from Munich. All right, Duke has possession. Kentucky, though, has got 2 solid lines of 4. So Duke taking their time. Murphy had that great run in the second half, out of the 18, through midfield, looking for options, ran out of them, and Kentucky went right back the other way. Farson got that yellow card. Keep an eye on that. Again, he's been replaced by Taylor, and Taylor's got all that speed, but I just kind of want to see Farson with Taylor together and see if that would change the dynamic for Duke. Assume he might be watching. In case he is, we do say hello to John Rennie, who did so many great things for the game and for then named NSCAA, now United Soccer Coaches. Hopefully enjoying retirement. He used to come to quite a few games. I think he might be beach bound now, not certain of that, but hopefully enjoying life. Good man. Speaking of former Duke players, how about Kenny Lola? All that success at Louisville, now is on the speaking circuit. Got to figure he'll get back into the game at some point. Still a young man, former quality player here at Duke. Farson, a youngster from Iceland. Good idea to square that. There was a white jersey there, but red by Kentucky. As Kentucky now has 6 minutes and change left here in the first overtime to try to win it. They keep possession. Push it right side to Evans. Evans with that right foot. Pretty good ball in there. Headed out by Duke. Duke player goes down. Kentucky still got it. Everybody up for Duke. This is Screen. Screen from Raleigh, North Carolina. Would like nothing better than to celebrate pretty close to home. Sent back in there, handled by Duke. Duke seems ready for this Kentucky team. I got to give him credit. Player down for Kentucky right now is Grasso, number 4. He'll get back up as making a run right down the middle. And Grasso gets up, and then that is a card, I gotta believe. As Grasso comes in hard, let's see. Pretty sure the referee's gonna give him a card as he stops the clock at 5:31 to do just that. At the moment, he's gonna make sure that Grasso gets back up. He was down, got up, and then proceeded to come over and make a reckless tackle, and he will get a yellow card. So Grasso dealing with some cramps, gets the yellow card with the clock stopped at 5:31 remaining here in the first
Kentucky
overtime.
yellow card, number 4, Luis Grasso.
So the clock just stopped with 5:31 remaining. Duke with 9 shots, 1 shot away from double digits, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Kentucky's going to make a change. John Michael Bandy, wearing number 3, is going to come back in, probably for Grasso. As Grasso can barely walk, so Grasso will come out. Luis
Kentucky
Grasso
substitution number 3, John Michael Bandy.
coming out. Daniel Wright over the ball. Wright. Touched first by Kentucky. Kentucky will try to play it out of there. Now Murphy sees that he's got a Hamill, the goalkeeper, right at the top of the 18, and he'll give it to him. Hamill right back to Murphy. Murphy will look up and see Stephen O'Connell on the left side. He'll also see Frick in front of him. Frick's telling him to play it back. Instead, he plays it up top to the big man from Iceland who gets his head on it, but nobody home except Kentucky. Now they just ping it back and forth with 5 minutes remaining here in the first overtime. This one feeling like 0-0s, and as I say that, Evans gets it, tries to play it to himself. That doesn't usually work in the men's game, and thought Evans knocked the Duke player to the ground. John Kerr Jr. wants an explanation, but it'll stay with Kentucky. So Kentucky with a legitimate throw-in opportunity from around the 18. Trey Asensio, the junior from Bexley, Ohio, transfer from Cincinnati, where Johan Sedergren played. Of course, Cincinnati ended their program, which is a shame. Same for App State. Certainly hoping that that does not become a trend in men's college soccer. Bouncing around, it's loose, it's dangerous, and ending it is the winner right there. He missed one earlier, but Daniel Evans doesn't miss that one, and Kentucky gets a thriller in overtime,
Kentucky
beating
calls
Duke
forward
by a
7,
score of
Daniel
1-0.
Evans.
Off the throw-in, Asensio, a little deflection, it pings around,
Final
and
score
Daniel
tonight's game,
Evans
Kentucky 1,
able to
Duke
knock it in,
0.
his 3rd goal of the season
On behalf
to
of
give
Duke Athletics, we
Kentucky
thank you for your
a
attendance tonight. Please drive
1-0